Hi my beautiful loves, welcome back to another video. It's Medusa. We are just now exiting the full moon in Sagittarius, and I thought I would hop on here and show you guys how to do a full moon reading for yourself. This is the reading that I do every full moon. I have a different reading that I do for every new moon, and I'll be making a video on that as well. Before we get started, I wanted to remind all of you of the full moon in Sagittarius affirmation meditation that is uploaded onto my page here on YouTube. So if you've missed the full moon's energy, if you're still wanting to do some kind of ritual or practice, go and listen to that meditation afterwards. There's going to be a link below for you to follow if you want to do that. Let's get into it. This is our Herbal Astrology Oracle deck. For all of my readings, I do Oracle. I don't practice tarot specifically for my practice. This is my favorite deck to work with. If you enjoy this deck and the art on the cards, there's also going to be a link downstairs for you to click if you want to purchase your own deck as well. First, when it comes to doing any kind of reading, I really like to set an intention before even getting to the cards, as well as cleanse my deck. I cleanse my deck every single time I reopen it, just to cleanse the energy, reset the deck, and call in my intentions. So we've got a bit of incense right here, and we're just going to allow the deck to be cleansed. Before we get started, I just want to show you guys a few of the cards so you can see the artwork and how gorgeous it is. It's a really beautiful deck. It's very feminine. Okay, so there are many different ways to do a reading for yourself. For some people, they like to have the deck in their hands to feel the energy of the cards. Then they'll flip through it, and then boom, you get a card. Ashwagandha, that's your first card. And there's also shuffling the deck, cutting the deck, and then choosing the first card that's on the top. And then we've got skull cap for that. You can also lay the cards out. Okay, so we have our cards laid out. This is another way to choose your cards. This is the way that I like to choose my cards. If I'm doing any kind of ceremony with myself or holding space for other people, just so that everyone can get access to the cards, and it's a lot easier to feel the energy of each card as well. So when I pull cards, I put one hand over my heart, and then I allow one hand to wave over the cards, and you'll feel something in your palm. Everyone's different. Maybe you'll feel it in your heart space because you have your hand over your heart. But for beginners, I always recommend doing this for pulling cards, is to just have your hand over your heart and then wave your hand over the cards until you feel something. Pulling cards is not only about receiving messages and direction for where you want to go in your life, where you're heading to, lessons that you've learned. It's about strengthening your intuition. So if you feel a little shiver, or if you feel a little prick in your skin, or if you feel like, or if you yawn, like whatever your body does, believe it. Allow yourself to believe that this is a sign from the body, a sign from spirit that choose that card. So for everyone it's different. For me, I feel like a swirling sensation in my palm, and then when I go over the right card, it like kind of lights up or heats up or cools down. This depends on the day, and then I choose that card. For a full moon reading, I do 5 cards. On my everyday practice, I pull 3 cards a day, but for new moons, full moons, and then specific lunar, solar events throughout the year, I'll usually pick anywhere from 5 to 7 cards. So for a full moon reading, this is just a basic full moon reading. Let's get into the reading. We're going to be doing 5 cards, and each card is going to represent a different energy or a different question. And we'll start with the first one. So I got this card. Now we have our cards. We have our first card, second card, our third card, fourth card, and then our 5th card. And you'll notice that the first card is reversed. Something that I want to talk about when it comes to doing readings. A lot of times what I find is when people do a reading or they receive a reading, they freak out when they see a reverse card. This is not a bad omen. This does not mean that you're going to die. This does not mean that something imminent is coming to your future. All of this is just information. So it's what you choose to do with the information. You can ignore it, you can apply it, you can transmute it. There's so many things that we can do with each of these messages. So I want to give that disclaimer that if you receive a reversed card, it's different in tarot versus an oracle, but neither are a death sentence. So don't be afraid if you receive a reverse card. It's just information that you're needing to receive in that moment, so that you can, again, apply it if you so choose to the whole entire reading and to your life as well. Again, you guys, this is not an active reading, so I'm not going to go into depth of each card and their meanings. This is just an example of how to do a very basic full moon reading for yourself. The first card, again, it's reversed, and it is Valerian. First card of our full moon reading represents the full moon's energy. This is how the full moon's energy is being embodied within ourselves specifically. The second card, which is tobacco, and this card represents what to learn this full moon. What's the lesson that wants to be presented and offered to us during this full moon's energy. Next, we have chamomile. Pretty little forest picture. And this card represents a cycle coming to completion. So this can be an ending, a new beginning, a transition in life, in whatever aspects that may show up as, but a cycle coming to completion. Next, we have calendula. And number 4 represents part of you that craves nourishment. What is a part of your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotional being that is craving nourishment? How can we be more playful or more loving or compassionate or kind, or whatever it is that your body is needing, your spirit is needing to have more nourishment and self-satisfaction and self-worth. Last card, we have sage. The last card represents how to connect with your highest potential for this full moon. Again, you guys, this is not a reading. This is just an example of how to do a reading. These are the 5 cards and the 5 prompts, questions to align with and ask yourself for a very simple full moon spread. If you are someone who likes doing oracle readings and you like to do it for every kind of different moon or for different circumstances in life, I definitely recommend downloading my free copy of the Oracle Journal, and it has over 20 Oracle prompts for specific full moons, specific new moons, for retrogrades, for everyday kind of life experiences. And there's going to be a link for that downstairs as well. When I do any kind of reading, I always have my journal, and I take the time to journal each card and the passage and message that is found in the booklet as well. Also try to include an actionable step that I can start practicing today to align with each of the cards. And that is how to do a full moon oracle reading. Before we close this video, I want to share a few tips and reading etiquette for when you are doing a reading for yourself, or if you choose to do a reading for another person. When it comes to doing a reading for yourself or for another person, it's very important that you are grounded as well as a clear channel. When doing a reading for yourself or for others, it's very important that you choose your own cards. Do not allow other people to choose your cards, because they are putting their energy on your cards, and sometimes people skew the messages that are actually for them and project it for messages that are for you. If you are doing a reading with multiple people and you have all the cards laid out like we did earlier, don't put the cards back so other people can pick those cards. The cards that you choose are for you, and there are plenty of cards in the deck and plenty of messages in the deck for them as well. So what you choose is yours. What they choose is theirs. There's no possibility or probability that the message that you picked was supposed to go to them. Everything happens in divine timing and happens for a reason. So the cards that you get versus the cards that another person gets are for what you're both needing to receive in that moment of time and space. If you are buying an oracle deck, do your research, look up the author as well as the artist if they have them mentioned. I feel like that's an important detail, because not oracle decks are made with love and intention. So sometimes the artist is not mentioned at all, but the artist and the author of the oracle deck are both mentioned in the Herbal Astrology deck. Also, there's some people believe that when it comes to oracle or with tarot, that it's better to be gifted a deck than to actually purchase a deck. I definitely align with that. This deck was gifted to me by a client while I was teaching them cacao circle rituals. So this was gifted to me. But I also believe that if any kind of spiritual tool strongly calls to you, like it's a magnetic pull, then it's your intuition, it's your higher self saying that, hey, you need to get this, especially if it comes up several times in a short amount of time span. So I have decks that I have purchased myself, and then I have decks that I have been gifted to me as well. And the last little tip is just to have fun. Your readings are not set in stone of your future. This is guidance of messages to apply to your present, to help you with your future, or to understand your past as well. So take everything with a grain of salt, especially when you are reading the passage inside the booklet. Not every single word that's in the booklet is meant for you to align with. Just be cautious and be mindful of what keywords kind of light up on the page or light up in your mind when you're reading the passage in the booklet. If you're wanting to strengthen your intuition, if you're wanting to connect deeper with yourself, if you're wanting to practice with divination, oracle reading is a really great beginner level of doing that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them downstairs in the comment section. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and save this video so that you can come back to it for whenever you do your reading next time. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time.